Thank you for joining us. Welcome to Business Incorporated, coming to you live from Lagos, Nigeria. I'm Chimezie Obi Iwago. On the program today, Nigeria's Debt Management Office set to float a new diaspora bond and get it listed on the London Stock Exchange. Central Bank of West African States, BCEAO, holds its benchmark interest rates unchanged at 2.5%. Plus, Botswana's largest tourism company, Wilderness Holdings, emerges the preferred bidder for national airline Air Botswana, which is being privatized. Let's get started now with the markets. And here in Nigeria, the market continues to wax stronger, with the oil share index up 1.03% at intraday, outperforming its peers. Egypt followed with a 0.43% gain. Well, the market in South Africa continues to drop after the country entered a recession. The Nairobi Stock Exchange closed higher 0.70% on Wednesday. In the meantime, the Nigeria Debt Management Office says it has filed a registration statement on behalf of the federal government with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission for the purpose of floating a new diaspora bond. In a statement issued on Wednesday, the Debt Office further states that a listing application will be made to the UK Listing Authority for the admission of the global debt offer and to the London Stock Exchange for the trading of the bond. Two international financial firms, Bank of America Merrill Lynch and Standard Bank of South Africa, are joint lead managers, while First Bank of Nigeria and UBA are domestic joint lead managers. Meantime, the Debt Office says investors' roadshow meetings are scheduled for United Kingdom, the United States and Switzerland from June the 13th, after which pricing for the diaspora bond will begin, subject to market conditions. And in the Middle East, Qatar's stock market rebounded today after losing 9.7% since neighboring Arab states cut diplomatic and trade relations with it early this week, while an overnight plunge in oil prices weighed on Saudi Arabia's bourse. Qatar's stock index was up 2.79% at intraday, with all 17 companies that have a market capitalization of over $1 billion rebounding. Industrial conglomerate Amal Corporation, in which the Qatari ruling family has 28% ownership, was the top performer, soaring 9.1%. Its shares had lost 15.6% in the previous 3 sessions. Dubai's index was down 0.17%. In Abu Dhabi, the index rose 0.50% as Dana Gas continued to outperform, adding 3.9%. It leaped 10.9% on Wednesday after saying it had received $400 million from the Egyptian government towards its outstanding receivables. Saudi Arabia's index, however, fell 0.84% as most petrochemicals fell after Brent oil futures tumbled 4% overnight. Saudi Basic Industries was down 0.9%. Well, it's what we will call here Super Duper Thursday for the global markets. The markets in Europe edged higher in early trade as politics and monetary policy took center stage. Let's bring in Conrad Booster now to tell us how the markets are dealing with the key events today. Hello, Conrad. Well, policymakers at the European Central Bank started their meeting for the future of monetary policy in the 19-member bloc. What does the market expect from the ECB this time? Should a large monetary stimulus be rolled over?
Well, the monetary stimulus will stay with us for a significant amount of time. The European Central Bank has just started right now the press conference of the President Mario Draghi, but already about half an hour ago it came out with a decision to leave the key interest rates unchanged, and along with this statement came, the sentence that the stimulus program, the asset purchases by the European Central Bank will remain where they are. What was new, though, was that this statement did not talk about potentially lower interest rates, and that might be interpreted as a hint, that slowly the European Central Bank's monetary policymakers are considering some tapering, but not now. It's somewhere in the distant future.
Well, looking behind you there, Conrad, we could see the DAX nose diving at this moment. Just wondering what's driving that sentiment there, whether it's the ECB's decision, and of course UK's parliamentary election, which is already on the way. Is this event also feeding into today's trading day?
Oh, it is very much on people's minds. In many trading halls, on many trading floors in Europe, people are getting prepared for very busy times on the markets. There are extra working shifts at many brokers and bankers, also overnight. Many bankers will have to stay up longer tonight or get up earlier tomorrow morning because large volumes of trade are expected, especially on the currency market, especially around the pound sterling. During the recent weeks, the price of sterling has pretty much developed up and down together with the opinion polls. Whenever there were opinion polls indicating a relatively strong result for Theresa May, the pound went up. And on the other hand, when opinion polls indicated that Theresa May might have problems to defend her government today, then the pound went down. The idea behind this is that if Theresa May really wins big, if we are going to see a landslide in the election result, this will strengthen her position in the Brexit negotiations, and not only towards the European Union, but also towards the backbenchers in her own party who are Euro enemies and, who would rather make or influence Theresa May in a way that would not be compromising and, economy friendly for the United Kingdom.
Now, Conrad, three events are on investors' mind right now. Focus. What do you consider the most important market-moving event on today's calendar? ECB meeting, UK election, former FBI Comey's testimony, or is it President Trump's $1 billion infrastructure fund talk show?
Well, I think the event with the most immediate potential to influence markets is the UK election. But you mentioned, the hearing of the former FBI chief in the US Senate, which is, of course, about Donald Trump's involvement with Russia or potential meddling of his campaign with Russia. I think this has really the potential to be moving the markets in the long term, because this hearing of Comey in the Senate is part of an ongoing process in Washington, where more and more the ways of Donald Trump are being questioned. And, the more successful this questioning is, and the more doubtful Donald Trump as a president and his ways are, the less his potential, of course, to really influence policies in Washington. And, of course, this is also potentially harmful for the reputation of the White House in the world, as being the leader of the free world. It might, prepare a big disappointment for people on the markets who had hoped so much for a very, business-friendly, brave new world, thanks to President Donald Trump.
Well, Conrad, one more day to go with you. So see you on Friday. Enjoy the rest of the day.